You were told the church fought the devil. But what if it also recorded those who joined him? Across centuries, priests, inquisitors, and monks didn't just condemn heresy. They documented it in detail. Confession symbols, rituals, names, and sometimes outcomes. Some of those records survived. Others were hidden in vaults, monasteries, or burned. In this video, we unearthed forgotten files, the pacts of the devil the church once kept track of and then tried to erase. If forbidden rituals, religious secrecy, and hidden archives interest you, like and subscribe. You'll want to see what's inside. In the medieval imagination, making a pact with the devil wasn't just myth. It had a name, a structure, and a theology. It was called Pactum cum Diabolo, a formal contract, a mutual agreement between a human and a fallen angel. Church scholars debated its validity. Was it binding? Could the soul be traded like property? Theologians like Thomas Aquinas insisted it was possible and damnable. Others feared even discussing it lent it power. These pacts were believed to involve specific rituals, a verbal promise, a physical offering, often blood, and sometimes a written agreement signed with quill or with the point of a dagger. The language found in ecclesiastical records is chilling. Some describe demons offering knowledge, power, or even carnal pleasure in exchange for eternal allegiance. Others warn of devils disguised as angels, tricking the desperate into surrendering their souls. What mattered most was intention. Did the person truly believe they were speaking to the devil? If yes, the church considered it binding, not just heresy, treason against heaven. And so the record-keeping began. Not all pacts with the devil were metaphor. Some were written. In the case of Urbain Grandier, a 17th century French priest accused of witchcraft, a signed contract was presented during his trial. It listed demons, promises, and even the time of day the agreement was sealed. The document exists. It is written in Latin, reverse script, and adorned with occult symbols and demonic seals. It names Lucifer, Beelzebub, and others as witnesses. Centuries earlier, in legends surrounding Johannes Faust, the archetypal figure of forbidden knowledge, a deal was said to have been inked in blood. He would have 24 years of unlimited power, followed by damnation. Inquisitors collected such documents. Some were clearly forged. Others, too detailed, too methodical to dismiss so easily. The church didn't just burn these pages. In many cases, it preserved them, filed them, studied them. Why? Perhaps to understand evil, or to know what to fear, or maybe because part of them believed. Some manuscripts were too dangerous to be read, and too powerful to be destroyed. Among them, the Clavicula Salomonis, the Grimoire of Pope Honorius, and the Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. These weren't just books of spells. They were catalogs of spirits, instructions for summoning, and blueprints for spiritual control. They listed names of demons, the days they could be called, the offerings required, and the risks involved. Some contained sigils, complex symbols set to open gates between realms. Others described rituals meant to command or plead with infernal forces. The church banned them, but inquisitors read them. Some copied excerpts into trial documents. Others kept them locked in libraries where only select monks could access them. Fragments resurfaced during the Renaissance, then again during the occult revival of the 19th century. And today, facsimiles exist online, studied, downloaded, reinterpreted. These books weren't lost. They were preserved, because sometimes what is forbidden is also too fascinating to forget. Not every servant of the church destroyed what he found. Some kept it in isolated monasteries, far from inquisitorial fire. Manuscripts were hidden, shelves were hollowed, walls doubled. Secret compartments behind altars housed forbidden pages. Not to preserve evil, but to understand it. The line between study and heresy blurred. Some monks copied spells into margins of theological works. Others annotated grimoires with warnings or instructions in Latin script so tiny it required special lenses to read. Entire rooms, sealed and undocumented, were discovered centuries later in places like the Vatican archives and European abbeys. In them, books not on any catalog, names not in any sermon, histories the church never officially endorsed, but clearly never let go. Were they preserved out of curiosity, caution, or something else? What's clear is this. Not all pacts with the devil were kept by sorcerers. Some were kept by saints. During the Inquisition, many confessions of deals with the devil came under duress. But what if not all of them were inventions? Some of these testimonies were disturbingly consistent across centuries and continents. Individuals who never met described similar rituals, drawing circles, invoking names, offering drops of blood on black altars lit by a single flame. They spoke of contracts signed with red ink or blood, of dreams that became visitations, of voices promising things no human could deliver. Were they delusional, repeating myths, or experiencing something real? Inquisitors didn't always dismiss the details. Some were terrified, others became obsessed. A few began collecting the symbols, recording the words, sketching the sigils. The question remains, were these confessions fabrications under torture, or glimpses into rituals the church could never quite erase? And if some were lies, what about the ones that weren't?